Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another edition of AmericanDreamTrading.com's Live Futures and Education. This is an outreach of AmericanDreamTrading.com, which was founded by, is owned by, is managed by, is incorporated by Chad Christian, who we affectionately call Coach. And why do we call him the Coach? Because he helps us navigate the muddy waters of everything investing, such as stocks, stock options, crypto, and my personal favorite and the focus of this live broadcast, futures. He also helps us to learn how to day trade, swing trade, long-term investing, income investing, planning for retirement, covered calls, cash secure puts, you name it. If it can be invested in, Coach will educate us on how to do that. Glad you could be here today. Yes, I am looking around up in the air and all around because I got all these monitors. Well, thank you for being here today. Glad you could join us. My name is Mark McSee. I'm one of the training moderators here at American Dream Trading and your host of this live broadcast every day, Monday through Friday, from 2 to 4 p.m. Glad you could be here. You know the routine. If this is your first time being here, make sure you click subscribe, like, share, and click those notifications so that you are notified of any and all upcoming live broadcasts. And speaking of our live broadcasts, we are live here 3 times a day. Coach is live from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. I'm live from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. And we have our aftermarket show with our host, Dawn, over on our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading, starting at 5 p.m. each and every night. So check that out. And her show's different than this one. You can actually join her panel live with an open mic and a camera if you so choose. And have open discussions that way, or you can do like you do here and ask questions and make comments in the aftermarket show's chat box. So however you like to do it. But anyway, this is an outreach of American Dream Trading. This is to give you a taste of what we do here. And we hope that you maybe learn a few little things here. Again, we can't really go deep diving into things all the time, but we are here to answer your questions. If you'll type them in the chat box, we'll do our best to answer them as time allows during our show. And that also includes our paid members who are also currently in the room. And I can't see how many we got here. We have, let me see, click this window. We have, 40 some in here presently? Where's my little thingy at? I got everything overlapped. 56, thank you. I was trying to... I had the things in the road. I got chat box windows flying around here everywhere. Things in my road. All right, so, there it is up there. Duh. All right, yes, 56. Clearly says 56. Thank you. So, anyhow, glad you could be here today. Doug or James actually, one of our moderators over there on our YouTube channel, has been gracious enough to post direct links to our current membership promotions that we have. Everything from stock options, and crypto and futures are all available for one click over there. Or you can go to our website, AmericanDreamTrading.com, and scroll down about halfway down our landing page. There you will see a direct link to join our free Discord. It's always been free, always will be free. And also right next to that is a links to our membership page if you're ready to upgrade your learning, because you're better off investing in your education first before you even think about conducting real money trades. Matter of fact, we tell you when you join American Dream Trading, don't even fund your account. That way you're not tempted to trade with real money. You need to learn what you're doing first, folks. Invest in your education. It pays the biggest dividends. A wise man said that hundreds of years ago. And that wise man was none other than Ben Franklin. So anyway, invest in yourself. It pays the largest dividends in your education. Don't get the cart before the horse. You don't try to trade with real money trying to figure out what's going on. All you do is wreck your account. Next thing you know, you're broke. And how do we know that's what people do? Because between the statistics prove, and these are studies, you can Google yourself. Don't take my word for it, that 90 to 95% of all day traders fail in the first 1 to 2 years. And the reason they fail is most likely is because, number one, they're trying to do it on their own. They're using real money while they're trying to learn, right? They have no support system. They're trading by themselves, which is very lonely. I can't imagine sitting here all day long by myself in silence trading. That would be the most boring, most stressful thing. They don't have a teacher, a mentor to turn to ask questions, to learn from. They don't have a community to support them, right? American Dream Trading solves all those issues for you. We have Coach Chad Christian, who has over 33 years in the markets. He's a natural, I would say, if anybody's a natural born coach. Hang on here. My plug fell out there. Got a warning, the laptop's going to die because it was unplugged this whole time. There we go. Now we got power. Coach, I think if anybody's a natural born leader and a natural born coach, Coach is that. He was born to teach. And he's taught, of course, he teaches us here at American Dream Trading. And, he's been a coach on sports and coaching people in business. He's a business owner, owned multiple businesses over his career, been involved with major corporations through his life, has owned his own retail stores, chains in the time. And so he's got a lot of experience, not just teaching trading, but also teaching things in other avenues in life. So he's very good at what he does. If all you have to do is watch him for about 5 minutes, I think you'll like his style. All right? No live on YouTube. Yes, there is. I'm live. I'm looking at it right now. Actually, it says Stock Market Trader. Click on the link that says live. I had this problem the other day where I schedule it and it puts the icon up there and it doesn't open that. Does that open again?
Yeah, we popped into Coach's live.
That's where this is at. I don't know why I did it I told Bruno I had an issue with it. Let me go here and restream and kill that other one. That way they won't have no choice but to leave. See, it's even scheduled there, so I don't know what the issue is with that. Let me unschedule that. All right. Because I can see I'm live. It's under the Stock Market Trader one. So, yeah, I don't know why. I thought it was because I was doing it on my other computer and I did it on the laptop this morning. I scheduled it. It should go right to that. But for whatever reason, I don't know. It's probably more likely related to a boomer issue, would be my guess.
Oh, you know what? You covered for Coach this morning, didn't you? So it was
well, yeah, but I still scheduled it separately. Yeah, but anyway, I'll have to go back and see something's obviously doing something wrong. This is the third time now, so didn't have any issues before, so I don't know what's different. But thank you for bringing that up, KB Love. Have them check into the other. Well, I think I undid it. It shouldn't be showing the other one up there on our YouTube page. Does it, Doug, anymore? Does it show like the thumbnail for, without me having to jump in there?
It says he can see it.
Okay.
Let me pop over there real quick.
Let me see. Yeah, I don't see the.
I don't see it currently.
Let me click on our actual page here.
Now it's still showing up, coaches.
I don't understand this. I did this the same way every day, and now all of a sudden it's kicking into the other one.
In Coach's live thumbnail, but yours is not showing up.
It shows it there, and I just unscheduled it too. I don't know. Let me go back here. Let me go back and actually take it off.
So yours says notifying you.
Schedule. It doesn't show scheduled anymore. Oh, anyway, all right. Well, it is what it is. We'll figure it out. So, thank you, though, for letting us know about that. Appreciate it. Appreciate your feedback. So, anyway, we have the coach, we have our mentor, we have our teacher/trainer, and that's in Coach. When you're trading by yourself, you don't have that. Who do you go ask questions? You have to Google everything, right? Chat GTP or whatever, Grok, whatever one you're using. which is fine. You can find answers, right? So we have somebody there that can help guide us and direct us on the proper ways, right? Also, we have the strongest community out there on the interwebs. Everybody in our community wants to see each other be successful. We generally do. And they're here to help support and ask questions too, also 24/7. Who else does that? Nobody does that, right? Anywhere on the interwebs. So, plus the education, free things that we have available. So we have the whole package all in one place. We are an education and training company. We want you to develop a skill over time that nobody can take away from you. We want to train you so you can decide, is this going to be a good trade? When do I enter? When do I exit? Right? Rather than having a call-out group yell at you, buy XYZ, sell XYZ now, right? You don't learn anything from that. When that person disappears, now what do? You have no clue what to do. Wouldn't you rather be able to depend on your own skills in doing this rather than somebody yelling something at you? And quite frankly, the thing they may be calling out may be super risky. You don't know, right? It may be too risky. It may not meet your risk tolerance. It may be too risky for you, right? So, there's a big difference between trading Tesla and trading Apple, okay? One's extremely, Tesla will move up and down 50% every single year, right? Apple, no, right? Big difference, just comparing stocks. So you got to be careful. So anyway, develop your own skill. We'll teach you how to do all these things. All you got to do is show up and put to work, just like developing any other skill, all right? I've used different examples, so I'll use this one again, the gymnast. Have you ever seen an 8-year-old win an Olympic gold medal in gymnastics? Never. Why is that? Well, number one, they're just starting out, right? They don't have the physical or the mental capabilities to be tough enough to do that, right? As they get older in physical age and grow in height and stature and muscular capabilities and skills, then they could start being competitive in the world, right? So, but until you get that training and put in the time and the pain involved in learning a skill, failing, learning, growing from your failures, being able to have a coach that could teach you to how to stay on that balance bar, right? You need to have a coach. You can't self-train and get into the Olympics. Doesn't work that way. You need a coach. You need somebody there to help educate you, guide you, answer your questions, yell at you when you need yelled at. Okay? I tend to try to think of saying it more like motivate you when you need motivated, right? I'm speaking as a supervisor. That was my career, my entire life, basically. Yes, I was a working stiff at one time, too, but majority of my career was in management. So that's what differentiates us from all the other ones out there on the interwebs. We want you to develop a skill so that you're not dependent on some old dude that you just come across today right here on the internet, right? You don't know me from Adam. You don't know if I know what I'm talking about, right? Sometimes I wonder if I know what I'm talking about, right? So you don't want to be dependent on me. You don't want to be dependent on Coach. Do I want Coach to disappear? Absolutely not. I learn new things from Coach every day. But you get my drift. If you develop a skill and I go away, Coach goes away, Don goes away, no more live shows, now what do? Well, I've developed a skill. If Coach does decide, hey, I ain't doing this no more, I'm going to be very upset. I'm going to be very depressed. But yet, I know I can still get up every morning and do this. Right? So, good. Anyhow, questions. Let me scan through here. Maddie has an opinion that says it's hard to follow someone using clouds as an indicator. Cloud is not an indicator. Cloud is a visual representation. My cloud that you see on there is not an indicator. All that's doing is filling a gap between two indicators. It's a quick visual reference for when I'm scanning through different things. Yes, I can remove that. I can make it disappear. Coach doesn't have this on his chart. He does have the trend lines. All that cloud is just a visual. That's in a red trend, it's in a green trend. In other words, it's in a downtrend, it's in an uptrend. So you just didn't understand what that meant, that's all. It's not the cloud itself is not an indicator. It's just filling the gaps between the 21 and the 55 that is what that's filling between there. The blue line is the 21. The orange line is a 55. The white line is a 9. And this sky blue one is the 200 MA. And then VWAP's hiding here somewhere, which is my yellow line, which is up here. So there you go. See, ask, mention, and we will educate you so that you are not ignorant on what these things are. I didn't say you were stupid. Ignorance can be fixed. Stupidity is forever. So there, don't be afraid to ask. We will be more than happy to explain it to you. That's what we're here for. Thank you. And you're welcome to use any indicators you like. This is what we use here kind of at American Dream Trading. Even our members can use whatever they want. There's nobody that says that you can't use anything. If it makes you money and you feel successful on a consistent basis using I stand on my head with a spoon in my right hand and a jackhammer in my left hand while I spin around on my head and hit the buy and sell button. If that works for you, have at it, right? Who am I to say, right? But like any other company, if I'm working at Ford, I am going to make Fords, even though Chevys are basically built the exact same way with the exact same parts, right? If I'm working at Ford, what kind of cars am I going to build? Ford, right? If I'm working at Chevy, I'm going to build Chevys. So this is what we do at American Dream Trading, and this is what I do because I'm part of American Dream Trading, proudly. What I have on my screen works for me, and this is what I use. Proof is in the pudding. Come on over and see for yourself. You can join our live Discord at AmericanDreamTrading.com. Totally free. Always has been free. Always will be free. It's easy to be an armchair warrior. Come on in and join us. Make your own decision. Don't rely on other people's opinions. You know what I mean? Right? It's good to seek opinions, but then you have to decipher what those people are telling you. Prove it yourself. Prove it doesn't work. I offer you that challenge. All right, so James has been good enough to put in a direct link, clickable links over on our YouTube Live for you to click out, or you can do it yourself and go to AmericanDreamTrading.com and click on the membership link about halfway down our landing page. All right, questions, comments. I took care of Maddie's comment. Let's see. Lego said he'd like a second opinion. Well, you're good looking. Here you go. There's another opinion. How's that? All right. People, this is the old joke. I'd like a second opinion. Well, you're ugly. Okay. I was going to say that one. Okay. What else? Yeah.
In the Zoom chat.
What's that?
You've got a question in the Zoom chat.
I have a question in the Zoom chat. Let me see here.
You do.
Wow. Imagine that. Let me see. I don't see a hand up. Where's the thing at? I don't see the new one in the Zoom chat. Is this not updated?
All right, I'll read it for you.
Read it. That would be fantastical if you could do that.
Sure, it says, hey Mark, good news. I ended the New York morning session as a green day.
All right.
I do have a rookie question though. How do you typically enter a double top or double bottom at resistance or support? Is there a certain confirmation or trigger you look for before jumping in? Thanks for your help as always.
Great question. Very good question. All right, well, let's see if we can find an example. Currently, let's look at NQ. It goes up and down enough. It shouldn't be too hard to find a double or triple top or something, right? There's one kind of there, but let's see. Let me move this out of my way so I can see what I'm doing here. All right. What time period am I on? Let me go on a 2-minute here real quick. I can zoom out a little bit. All right. So, if we're looking at, let's just say right here in this area. Well, let's go up here because it's more defined. All right. So, let's just say, I'd like to find one that's clear. Okay. All right, right here. You can see I already have a line. There's already a level I have on there. So here we come up. You could say this is kind of the double. It's a little sloppy there, but for all purposes, right? These wicks come up right here in this area. Just like throwing hand grenades that don't always end exactly at at that spot. So you can say this is a double top, big old cup, right? So what typically happens statistically wise when we reach a double top, double bottom, triple top, triple bottom, whatever, right? Statistically, we know that it will probably reject and pull back, right? It'll keep testing it and eventually it will break through. But we know, just in this case, there's quite a bit of a time period here. Okay, came up here, rejected, went down, came back up, tried to retest the same level again, creating a double top here. And what did it do? Reject it again. Now, if we follow this out, we will eventually see where it's may work its way back up again, all right? So we, first of all, have to know what is generally going to happen. Rejection, right? Bounce, we can call it. It bounces off and rejects and goes the other way. Same thing with the double bottoms, right? We get down here, you can see right here and through here, what's it typically do? It goes right back up again, right? Comes down, boing, come back down, boing, right? So, all right, so we know statistically that's what's going to happen. Now, the thing about statistically, if we say something happens 70% of the time, that means what? 30% of the time it's not going to happen, right? It's going to go through it. I'm just making up that number. It's not a real statistic. But for every statistic, there's the times that it doesn't do what you think it's going to do. So as we approach double tops, you can bail, you can shed, right, on a pullback and see if it's going to actually go down, right? And you have to decide when to get out of the trade or reverse your position and play it to the downside. So that would be the smart thing to do, take your money and then enter to the downside, right? That way you made money when it was going up. Now you're making money when it goes down. However, we just don't randomly and blindly jump out of a trade because it approaches a double top, right? You need to wait and see what's going to happen. Now you have to be, laser focused and waiting to see what could happen. What am I going to do if it does break above the double top? Well, let's just say I'm not in this trade, I'm like, oh, that's coming up the double top. It's going to go down, all right? Okay, well, let's develop our strategy. Now, there's two things here that we can say. It can go up, break through, which is statistically less likely to happen on just a straight up double top. So we know statistically it's going to go down, reject. So that would be my first game plan. So where am I going to re-enter the trade? Okay, you have to decide that. So get your plan A. If it happens to break through, what's my plan B? Where will I enter the trade at, right? So you're developing two plans at once. What if, right? So whatever one it actually does this time, right? Because this could very well blow right through that nonstop like it's not even there, right? Because we see it happen all the time, right? But more than likely it did what this is going to do, goes down. So I am going to be biased to the bounce, but I'm not going to hang on my bias, right? I may even load up and get ready for a down trade and wait there and to execute a trade, go that far, right? But I'm going to at least evaluate ahead of time. Again, and all this happens in probably 10 seconds or less, right? As you get more experience. Probably 5 seconds or less, really, if you want to get down to it. You don't probably even think about it. It just happens once you become an experienced trader. It's just like driving a car. You don't think of everything you do when you drive a car, do you? It just happens naturally because you developed a skill. You don't have to think, put my foot over here, my hand over here, and my eyes over. You don't do all that. It just happens. It's a skill. So if I'm going to enter the downside, well, you can wait on the EWO if you want to play the 2-minute EWO strategy, right? So you would enter down here. I'm not going to go into 50 different strategies. So you have to, if you're playing a 2-minute EWO, and that's what you like to do, and that's your primary trading strategy, well, okay, it's going to bounce. So all likelihood it could even possibly turn into an EWO somewhere, and I might have an opportunity to enter. I like, personally, right now, my trading strategy is using Coach's break and hold below or above the 9. So the way I would trade this, and this is just one of the many strategies that Coach teaches, right? I'm not saying for you to do this, is I will wait. Okay, it's going to reject. I know it's probably going to reject. The statistical odds are that it will. I'm going to wait for the break and hold below the 9 and looking at the big picture. Where's my indicators? Where's VWAP? Where's the 200? Where's my 9, 21, and 55? Where are my critical levels that I have charted out on my chart? Now you see I don't have a whole lot of lines here because this thing's climbed up, but I don't really have any lines right here. But I can see imaginary lines here without drawing them, right? I can see the tops of these candles right across here, right? I can draw a line there right now, right? So I can pop a line there real quick. I can just see it visually. But, you know, think about visuals. If you take your eye off it, you forget where you're at. So don't be afraid to pop a line. So I'm going to wait on the break and the hold of the 9. But I've already evaluated and seen that I have my indicators kind of jammed up here. Yes, my VWAP and the 200 are behind me, right? Do I want to wait until it clearly breaks and holds below my indicators here? Because it could bounce off of them. It could also bounce off my level here, which, as you can see, was a double top type of thing going up and down. But I have a level, a historical level, where it buys and sells at. So do I want to wait till it clearly breaks and hold below that to have a little bit maybe more conservative yet safer trade? That's up to you, right? It's on your trading style. I can't tell you. I would enter personally up here. I don't really let the 55 scare me all that much. I ain't afraid of the 55. I ain't afraid. But I'm still going to respect it, right? It's a trend line. It's the last 55 candles on whatever time frame you're living. So it has value, right? The 9 is a short term, right? 21's a little bit mid-range. 55 is longer, right? And of course, the 200 is 200 candles back. So I will do the break and hold. So did this here broke? Did it have a confirmation candle to the downside? No, it didn't, right? I want to see a candle that's on the shoulder of the other one to the downside, right? So here, like this here, this going up. See how this one started where the other one finished? This candle here started where this one finished. This candle started where that one finished. This candle kind of started where that one finished. See a trend there? That shows strength, right? Possible strength. Now, it doesn't tell you how many candles or how long more it's going to last, but it shows strength in that direction, which could go out at any time, right? So I'm looking for the same thing if I'm going to enter a trade. When I break and hold below the 9, I'm looking for that confirmation candle. There's my breaking candle, all right? There's step 1, but the other step is the important one, and hold, right? So I want to see this. I want to see a strength of direction and with energy moving down. This didn't have it. It petered out. It's side by side. It consolidated. So I'm not going to enter yet. You would have seen this. And now it's easy. It's what this doesn't show you looking backwards. It doesn't show you what this candle was actually doing when it was live at that moment in time. So, but anyway, this one didn't. This next one really didn't either, right? Now I may consider down here jumping in when it gets down, and then I can write it down, and then once I'm entered, that's just my entry criteria to get into trade. Okay. After that, if it goes sideways and consolidates, big deal. Now I'm evaluating my trade using the 9 EMA. Did it break and hold above the 9 EMA? Nope. Did it break and hold above the 9 EMA? Nope. No reason to get out of this trade. Write that bad boy down. You know, now I'm down at a critical level down here. I have this trend line with this regression channel, you know, which I also respect, the bottom of the channel, which is red, and then you got the green of the top half of the channel up there, and then you got the gray line, which is diddling in the middle. So from here up's the upper part, from here down's the lower part of the channel. So I'm going to respect that, so I can come down here and then I make a decision when I want to get out. When do I want to lock in my profits, right? Do I want to ride it all the way back up here till it breaks and hold above the 9? The simplified answer is yes. But would I do it in this situation? Absolutely not. That is a boatload of money. Now, if I'm hugging it, yes, I will stay in it till it breaks and holds above it. So you just have to make those decisions when you get a big gap. But as long as it stays under the 9, that encourages me to stay in there. I mean, trusting my indicators. That is easier than said than done. But the more you do it, the more you realize that it works. Okay? So, but if you're an EWO player, now you have a different set of criteria. You want to enter when the next bar is larger than the first. That actually doesn't happen until where? Right over here, right? These are all pretty much the same size. Right here is where you consider entering. I'm still going to look at the big picture. Well, look, guess what? The EWO kind of gave me an indication to getting in right after it got below the 9 and below all the other indicators. Now they're in my rear view mirror. You're not always going to have what we call 6-star trade where everything is in the rear view mirror. You know, sometimes VWAP and the 200 will be down here or they'll be split up. But those are decisions you make in the big picture of things when you enter a trade. So, but in this case, good. And then I could have rode this down. As long as it didn't break and hold above the 9, I managed to trade accordingly, right? You just have to decide when to get out. Does this mean just because this EWO means I'm going to make $1 bazillion? No, you still got to manage when to get out. So entry is the key though, right? That's the key to profits. If I'm getting in clear down here, obviously I didn't make that much, right? Because it only went another candle or two. But if I get in back up here, I'm making more profit. And I can stomach some of this sideways movement. The later you get in, now I have less opportunity for profit over time, right, than I did if I'd have got up here. And I have to be more cautious about it pulling against me because there's not that much of a gap from my entry point. As it gets further away, then it's a different story. But in this case, it didn't, right? So, good question. All right. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, okay, look what's going on. Nunya is in first place today over there on TikTok. Nunya got smacked around yesterday. I don't know if he's got the wherewithal to hang up there. I'm thinking Nunya's pretty weak. I just don't see it. Doug's hanging out. Miranda, who just made Bucko cry again today, beating him. Yesterday a boomer beat him. Today a girl beat him. Oh, look, Bucko is not even here right now. Oh, hope he isn't crying in a corner somewhere. He'll probably be here eventually. All right, so anyway, hopefully that answers your question. That's just one. I briefly touched on 2 different trading strategies there, right? And it's just one of many that Coach teaches. So, and you don't want to keep, switching strategies either. All you do is confuse yourself, right? So you don't, once you're in EWO, you don't start scalping, right? Kind of thing. Stay in the trade until it tells you to get out, right? Trust your indicators. All right, let me scroll back up here to YouTube, see what YouTube's asking, if anything. Okay. Okay. Good to see Leica Shaw there, J-Dog, Dog Cricket over there, Jabes. Everybody else, thank you guys. Mickey White's over there. He must be on the road again because he's watching on YouTube instead of being in the room. Good to have you here anyway, Mick. See, we provide multiple avenues for you to still participate. All right. What else we have? Questions. Who's got a question? I'll wait.
I have a question, Mark.
Okay. What's your question?
Can you tell me if they got any orders that will pull RTY down?
RTY, hang on here, let me look. I don't have the L2 up on this screen, but I have it on my other system here. Let me take a quickie glance. Nope, they're all about the same size right now, from what I can see. They're all in the mid-20s.
All right, I appreciate it. I think somebody else is about to ask a question before I ask
Okay.
a rhetorical question.
Yep, well, one of the reasons you don't have any big orders in there right now is because it's at a critical level, that 2240 area. That is a strong support level. As you can see, it's already tried to break through it a minimum 1, 2, 3 times. It came down part way, didn't quite touch it. Yeah, it's the time of the day too, right? It's 2:30 in the afternoon, so that's part of it. But will it stay there all day? It could, right? But that's why you're not seeing any big orders to the downside yet. Now that could change. We know that. L2 could change at any second. So, good. Question. You can.
We had a member ask the difference between a good EWO entry and a poor EWO entry. What are the signals that we could be viewing to tell the difference between the two?
Okay, well, so basically, it's just what do I look at in the big picture, right? We know when to enter. We are trained how to enter an EWO. Let's go look at a different one. Let's just back up here a little bit. Let me just take my line with me. All right, let's go back here and just pick one at random. Let's go wherever this red one we went to. Where did this start at? I see a red one. All right, so here, it's the next candle's larger than the first, right? This one here is barely larger. It's kind of weak right there. I would probably wait for a better looking candle, but let's do this. I haven't looked at the chart or anything here. All right. So technically that would be your entry point. Let's see. All right. So the nice thing about even using alerts, if we have our alerts set up, or if you're just sitting here trading one thing all day and you watch these the oscillators change between green and red, right? And this one's changing from green to red, waiting on my next candle. Well, actually, I'm going to start evaluating the trade when it hits the first red, right? That's the better thing. That gives me about a minute and a half, 2 minutes to evaluate the trade. Where's my indicator? Where's VWAP? Where's the 200? Well, they're up here, okay? This is trending away from the green, going into the downside red EWO, right? So my VWAP 200 is up there. Where's the rest of my indicators? Well, if this is the area, let me move this back one candle here because this is where we're evaluating the trade. All right. Before I even enter the trade, before it even turns into a full-blown EWO, where's the rest of my indicators? Well, there's the 9, there's the 21, there's the 55. Are they stacked up the way I like them to be? In other words, have they crossed over? Over here they did. Here they're still a little, they're in the process of. So now I got to decide if this goes into the next candle, turns into an EWO. In other words, this bar is larger than the first. Will this possibly be a good entry point, looking at the big picture? You just don't enter blindly into an EWO, right? So if it would get here, so here's my candle right now that I'm entering in. So if it hits the second one, is it going to probably be lower? Yeah, well, okay, well, we already can see that it is here, right? So this would be my entry. Everything's in my rear view mirror. Don't get much better than that. So now all I have to do is deal with my levels, historical levels that I have charted, and trust my indicators, ride that puppy down, right? Till you decide to get out. So to me, this is a really good trade because everything's behind me. I really don't have any tight levels until I get down here, and I'll deal with them once I get there, right? Same way, as it goes down, I'll ask, where's my exit? What's going to be my line in the sand to get out? If it pulls back, what is it? The break and hold of the 9 in this case, right? I got a regression channel line here. That's a trend line. That's the bottom of it. I need to respect that. I can see this as I enter the trade, right? So I know, here's a point I got to decide on. Here's a point I got to decide on, and here's a point I got to decide on. Minimum, right? Barring somebody coming in, a big whale coming in and dumping a whole bunch of orders, right? Or buying a whole bunch of orders and having it go against me. But that's what your stops are for, because we never trade without a stop. So I have all these points of decision. I have one here, I have one there, I have one here, and so on and so forth, on and on and on and on and on and down. As you can see, it came down and hit this regression line here. Yeah, it broke through briefly, but basically you can see that line acted as a magnet, right, as a support level, and it kind of held up the downward trend with it, right? It even come back later and come back and retested it again and still bounced off, right? So it's the trend is your friend until it's not, right? You go against the trend, and you better be knowing what you're doing if you're going to trade against the trend, okay? Do I trade against the trend? Yeah, I do it all the time. It's called scalping, but I'm in and out, right? I'm not going to sit there and hopium this breaks through this time. I'm going to wait until it does, right? So I'll trade what I can trade and get out, take my money, until I get a clear indication it's going the other way. So in the meantime, I'll make a lot of money. So this one here, you can see clear skies ahead all the way down, basically, right? There's no indicators, there's no VWAP that I got to bounce off now. Over here, the one we talked about earlier, of course, this one here is a little bit weaker. I can see this is changing here, right, at this point. Well, when I'm first looking at it, I'm like, oh, this is going to maybe go into a red EWO. Well, I can take a quick glance at it. Again, I'm saying these things verbally. It takes forever to say these verbally. You're doing these things automatically like a robot when you come in here. Bang. I can decide in seconds whether I want to enter this trade or not, right? Same thing here, right? Oh, okay, it's going down. It's probably going to turn into a red EWO. You don't know if it's going to be a good one, but I'm evaluating. Well, if I'm looking at the downhill slide of the green one, I'm thinking, well, all these indicators are kind of jammed up here, right? May not be as good of an entry as this other one we looked at, right? So I'm going to wait and see if it can get below that. If it does, okay, great. There, I evaluated a trade, right? Here's a green EWO here, right? Is this bar larger than the first? Well, let me expand this out a little bit. Yeah, it kind of is technically, right? So this here would be where I would decide to enter at. But I'm already evaluating it as it comes up here. Here's my first one. So I can see my indicators are jammed up here also, right? So I'm going to wait. I was trying to slide that down. So I'm going to evaluate if this next candle breaks above that, then I should be in pretty good shape, right? Great. Okay. Where's my VWAP into the 200 now? Well, they're up there. So I know I don't have to deal with these right now, but I'm going to have to deal with them if this works its way up here, right? VWAP being the strongest indicator on your chart because everybody in the world uses it, correct? So I know I have to deal with this eventually, but because this is NQ, I can make a boatload of money between here and there, right? So am I worried about it entering the trade? No, but I'm aware of it, very aware of where it's at, and I have to deal with it if it happens to go up through it. In this case, it didn't. It fell out, right? So all intents and purposes, this is a great trade. Only thing I got to worry about is this line here, then VWAP in the 200, then my line up here. In other words, you got to fight back up to that level. Now, what happened here? Well, this one just kind of died out, right? It just kind of fell flat. You don't ever know how high is high or how low is low, right? But this would have been a good trade to enter. It shows it. Now, as it broke above this indicator, you can see it really didn't break and hold with a strong upward movement. It kind of broke it and then consolidated. Sign of weakness, right? It's at the 1:30 hour, so it should have decent volume again in indices because that's where the main volume is after lunch versus trading gold or currencies, right? So yeah, this is a real sign of weakness. Maybe I would have seen these again without seeing it happen in real time. I have dojis formed here, right? So that tells me these candles were going round, up and down, up and down, up and down, right? Look how long the wicks are. Wow, from down there to up there. So they were really gyrating up and down, sign of weakness, indecision. A doji's neither good nor bad, it's just indecision. They couldn't arrive at a final price, right? So would I have abandoned it? Maybe I wouldn't have entered it, right? Because it's weak. Well, now here I get. Now, would I made a lot of money in this trade? No, I probably wouldn't been lucky to break even because I probably wouldn't have jumped in until this candle and it went up and then it pulled back, right? And it did kind of the same thing. Just kind of got chopped. You know, no one trading strategy is 100% effective, but you'll find the EWO is a highly effective trading strategy. Here's one right now. It's in process in real time. All right, here's my entry point right here on this candle, right? Is it above all my indicators? Yes. Where's VWAP in the 200? Up there. Don't have to worry about it. That's a mile away and a boatload of money I can make before it gets there. So there's my break of the 9. There's my hold, my confirmation candle. Just like I said I wanted to see, sitting on the shoulder of the previous candle, right? It had energy, obviously, to form this candle. Then it went up, so I would enter here, right? And then ride that up until it tells me to get out of the trade. What's one of my line in the sand things that I use to tell me to get out of the trade? Well, if it breaks hold below the 9. Has this trade broken held below the 9 yet? The 9 is my white line. Has it? Anybody?
No.
Did it break and hold below the 9 yet?
No.
Okay, so this is where I would have got in. You're right, it hasn't, right? Now, it's pulled back. Might make you nervous, right? Let me make this real fat and thick so you can see it, right? I'll delete the line later. All right, so here's where I got in. So anything above that line is profit, right? So am I going to trust my indicators? That is the hardest thing to do. I am going to stay in my trade as long as it respects the 9. It doesn't break and hold below the 9. May even let it go to the 21 as long as there's not a huge gap in profit that I have to give up. So I got in here. Am I still not in profit? Has it broken, held below the 9? Yes or no? No. So there's no reason for me to get out of this trade yet. Is it getting heavy? Am I getting nervous? Did I give up some profit from here? Yeah. How do I know this ain't going to go shoot up all the way up here? I don't, right? However, if this breaks and holds below the 9, I'm out for sure. You know, in this case, it will probably be a loss because the time it gets down here, it'll be right. At worst, at best, I'm probably break even if this candle does break and hold below the 9, right? Because right here's where I got in. Again, you're managing the trade as you go. This one had a big gamma candle. And what do our paid members know about gamma candles? Anybody? Open your mic. Tell me, what do you know usually happens with a huge gamma candle?
50% retracement.
Good, 50% retracement. Did this have a 50% retracement? In other words, from the high? Well, this candle here, between these two candles, very easily had a 50%, right? So I would be very cautious in this trade with getting this sudden uprise and seeing how it didn't break through this level up here. So those are the things you ask once you're into trade, you're managing the trade. I'm not too worried about this wave oscillator graph down here, right? All I'm using this for is my entry to get a good entry because entry is key to profit. So I got in, wrote it up, right? So and then you just have to decide to get out. Now, what I decided to get out because I was involved in a big gamma candle, well, that's a decision you have to make. Would I have personally? Yes. I would have waited to see, but as soon as I saw this, yeah, I might have locked in my profits. Doesn't mean I couldn't re-enter, but this did have a sign of weakness because it's side by side, not on the shoulder of the previous like these other ones were, right? On the shoulder, not quite on the shoulder, right? This one here, so it went kind of flat, right? Here, bang. Is this one here, and the next candle started on the shoulder of the other one. It's a sign of possible strength to the upside. And it did a little bit, just kind of a, so those are the things that you evaluate instantaneously. I spent 10 minutes spewing all that out. You're making these decisions instantly. You probably don't even think about that you made that decision. But you can say, oh, no, I don't want to enter this, or I want to wait just a little bit more, be a little bit more conservative, a little bit more safe. It's better to be safe and give up a few dollars profit than to make that bad decision by not waiting that extra minute and having it pull back on you and you end up losing money, right? So, again, we never know the top, we never know the bottom. See, now I got a break and hold down here, and it's already broke. There's my hold. I would have entered this with a strong downside. Let me get rid of this line here. Look at the money I'd be making, right? So this is what we do all day long. That's on a 2-minute EW. So the first thing is the EW tells you when to get in. However, it doesn't say get in. There's nothing here that flashes. It says buy now. It does have a bull marker on here, but you still got to look at the big picture. Where's my indicators all at? Where's my historical lines? And you decide yay or nay. Bang, that fast, right? Good. All right. What else? Nunya's in first place. Look at that. Nunya, 18. Doug's 17. Could overtake Nunya any second. And look, American Dream Trading's up there with 10. Is that the coach? Is that the one and only coach? Don't know. There we go.
It is.
It is. So, good question. Again, so we don't do anything blindly. You take a quick look at the big picture. Again, it only takes seconds to decide. You got to be quick thinking, right? We're not talking about scalping here. We're talking about evaluating a trade. Yeah, scalping, you have to really be quick on thinking, right? To be a good scalper. I am a scalper, so it is stressful. It's best to buy, get in, and let your runners run, right? So good question. We've talked about ES. Let's go look at ES here real quick. See, since we've talked about NQ to death over here, look how choppy that is. Oof, isn't that an ugly mess? Who wants to be in that trade? Not me. I'm going to go find something else. Can I make a lot of money here? Yeah. I could channel trade. This is in some defined channels here, right? I can write it up. When it rejects off, write it down. Problem is, it scares me here is this. Look how many times I have a line here already. See this line? I already have a historical level there. It kind of hung out here, dropped down, come back up, tested that level again. Couldn't break out. Rejected, down. This is a good channel trading situation. It's a different technique, right? It's harder. Scalping is easier than channel trading sometimes. You can see the chop. Look at the wicks on these candles. That means these things are really gyrating, right? And this is on a 2-minute chart. Write it up. We know it rejects off there. I already can see it clearly defined. I have my line there. Rejected, come down. What did it do? Double bottom bounce, back up. Then you just, enter in, keep your stop away, out of the way for a while. And hopefully you have enough gumption and intestinal fortitude to ride it back up to the channel. Now this one broke out. That would have scared me, right? Because it broke above the channel. But, I would have took my profit, right? And then it happened again. I can get back in, write it down. Now it didn't go all the way down. The channel changed now, didn't it? The channel's getting tighter here. So I would have to learn, okay, it ain't.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, I would have to know what to do.
Hard to trade at the end, the last 2
Yeah.
months.
Yeah, because it's, now see, here's the other thing that would have made me nervous, and it's not that I can't do this. I have done this. I've done this a lot. But get down here to bounce. Now it's up tested again. What do we know about, if we get a candle, let's say this comes up, let's say this was going up here, right? This obviously went down, but let's just say this swooped up this way. Okay, I tested this, it rejected. Let's say this stayed all the way down and then came back up. Now I'm testing it clear over here again. All right, what's the statistical odds of what this is going to do if it tested it once here and didn't test it again until it came up here? What's likely to happen? Ignore all this, okay? It's going to bounce, right? Because there's the longer the gap of retesting, more likely it is to reject. What makes me nervous sometimes about channel trading is you don't know, because we know the more times it tests our line, the more likely it is to break through if the time frames are a shorter period. I mean, look how compacted, how many times this tried to break through, tried to break through, tried to break through, tried to break through, still hasn't done it, still rejected. You would have think statistically one of these, either this one or that one, because it was such a quick retest that it would break through, but it didn't. Well, what does that tell me about that line? Do I want to maybe make this a gold level? Because look how much it respects that. So how would I do, why would I do that? Well, then you just scroll back and take a look, right? I am going to make this a gold level. It needs tweaked. You can see it needs tightened up a little bit, but I'll worry about that later. Right now, I'm going to just make this a hot pink. Why hot pink? Because I like hot pink. It's my chart. I'll make it any color I want. Now, that is my note to myself that that's a temporary line. Hey, go look at it. If not, delete it or make it into a regular level. So I'll go back whenever, and I'll take a look at that. Do I want to make this? Do I need to tweak this up a little bit, right? So it's just, I might need to move this up a hair, right? More likely it does need tweaked type of thing. So let me move this slide just here. There we go. So maybe I really want that line here at the top of these wicks. So what I have to do is I'll go back and I'll scroll back in a larger time frame and see how many times did it hit there, or does it need moved down or whatever, tweaked. So you were doing all these things instantly with your training. Your training kicks in when you're under fire. What do they tell people when we send our kids to go fight in wars around the world, right? It's scary to have somebody else. It's one thing for you to throw bullets at the enemy. It's a different thing when the enemy's throwing bullets back, right? That's when your training kicks in and you do things instinctively. It's the same way in trading. It's a skill. Any skill, it just happens naturally. You don't even think about it. I'm a musician. When I learned to play guitar, it was super hard. It was painful. It was a lot of work. It pissed me off many times. I had the guitar literally over my head one day, was going to smash it on the ground and say, screw this. It's too hard. I'm going to quit. Well, you know one thing about boomers? We're not quitters. Well, I am, but we're not quitters. So we don't want to quit. So I stuck with it. Thankfully, I stuck with it. And now I've been playing guitar for 13 years. I didn't even start till I was 50. There you go. How about that? How about that? I didn't even start till I was old. All right. I mean, I've been a musician all my life in band and stuff in school, but I never played string instruments. So I kept whining about it. One day, my wife said, "I'm tired of hearing you whine about it. Let's go get a guitar." And there started a new obsession in our family. Now I got a whole room that's nothing but musical instruments. So, hang on here. I got to type this time down on me. One moment. There we go. All right. So, yeah. So, statistically, this is going to break through. I would have thought it would have broke through one of these other ones, but it didn't, right? So, think about, again, like I mentioned earlier, the thing about statistics, yes, there's an 80% chance it's going to break through, right? Well, there's a 20% chance it won't. Well, guess what? The 20% worked out, won this time, right? All right. Well, good to see you, Rogue Ranger. Missed you in here earlier. Is that white line have a certain setting? Which white line? The one that goes across or the one on my chart that's going up and down? James Dean. James Dean's in the house. If you're talking about this one, that's a 9 EMA. All right, that takes the last 9 candles and draws a trend line of the price. Yeah, the wavy line. That's the 9 EMA. The blue one is a 21 EMA, exponential moving average is what that stands for. And then you also have the 55, and then I have VWAP and the 200. The 9 is I hang on the 9. All my trades, I hang on the 9. That's just one of the techniques that Coach teaches, right? I do that. I'm a scalper. Well, I didn't start out as a scalper, but I became a scalper over time as my skills developed. You need to know how to do everything, but you don't have to scalp. Scalping's hard, it's stressful. There's a lot of extra mental work involved in reevaluating trades every time you jump in and out. Anyway, we won't go down that rabbit hole. But yes, that's what these EMAs, they are the last 9 candles of the chart. So I am in a 2-minute chart. As you can see, there's 2 here. So the 9 EMAs measuring the last 18 minutes, right? If I'm in a 1-minute chart, that 9 EMA now is what? The last 9 minutes, right? And again, if I'm in a 1-hour chart, the 9 EMA is 9 hours worth of stuff, right? So it automatically adjusts based on the time zone, time you're in, right? And so, here, look at this 1-hour chart. Look, you could, if you was a swing trader and I trusted my 9, look at that. As long as it don't break below, here it broke below the 9 and play that all the way downside. That's on a 1-hour chart. I'm not a swing trader. I'm a day trader. I don't own nothing, hold nothing overnight. So good. Let's see. What else do we have? Does that answer your question there, James Dean? Hopefully it did. How many licks does it take to get to the center of, oh wait, how many ticks? Oh, I'm sorry, I misread that, J-Dog. How many ticks do you set your stops for? Oh, he asked Doug that question. What's wrong with me? Am I invisible here or what, J-Dog? Oh, they're talking to Doug, one of our moderators. You already know.
I took it.
You took it. What do you set yours on, Doug?
Well, it depends.
Depends on what?
Time of day. Depends on the time of the day. Depends on volatility. But more so than anything, I watch the ATR and Coach's indicators on the volume indicator.
Okay.
Seeing what the current candle average is, and then I give a little space beyond that.
Okay, and you padded a little bit, right?
Added a little bit.
Yeah, we had one of our members tell us he likes to pad it 1.5 times. Right? He wants his risk tolerance is different, right? He can go 1.5.
Yep.
Works for him, right? Who am I to say not to do that, right?
And it depends on your account size, what your risk tolerances are.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, my standard entry tick is 25. Now I need more than 25 on NQ. I also don't need 25 on trading currencies per se, right? So I want that, but I hate going in and reprogramming every trade, right? Now I got to change my tick from this to 30 because I'm trading that, right? Well, I'm not trading that anymore. I'm trading this, so I only need 10 ticks. So then I just leave mine standard 25. I know whatever I'm trading, I will adjust it upon entry. It gets me into trade with a wide enough tick value that I'm not going to get stopped out, right? So I adjust mine. I just leave mine 25. It's one less thing I got to fiddle fart around with when I'm entering a trade. And I will adjust it, slide it up and down inside the trade once I'm in there. So
A rule of thumb that I always use is I put the stop wherever the rally started. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, you can.
So, yeah. Like so, like if you're doing that channel trading, wherever the candle started to drop from, or the move, wherever the move started from, that's where I try to put my stop.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and I generally will keep mine at around the 21, as long as it's not, a gross difference in a gap in it, right? Once I get into trade, and say I'm getting into this downside, here, just let me throw it on here. Let me show you what.
Look at Road Ranger go. Oh, yeah, boy, get him.
Oh, you ain't kicking Road Ranger. He's going for it today.
Nope.
Ain't nobody smacking him around. He's the boss today.
He's revenge clicking today.
All right, so my standard, which is pre-populated, is 25 ticks because I have this programmed every time I enter a trade. It's automatically 25 ticks. So now I'm gonna just do this, enter this trade. Again, this is a paper trading account. I never trade my real account while I'm trading. Now this is in the Russell. This is choppy mess. Would I enter this trade now? Probably not, right? But I'm just show you what I'm talking about. So now I've entered a trade. Well, that's 25 ticks, right? That's way up there. Am I going to let that come back far back? No, probably not, right? And the Russell's about on average right now on a 2-minute candle, 15. I probably don't need 25 ticks. Now it is kind of volatile though, even though right at this present moment it's 15. So normally if there's a gap here, now we're in a bunch of chop, so it's not moving one way or the other, it's just hanging out here, right? So I might want to actually give it more room to work because it isn't chop, but that's neither here nor there. So what I'll do is if I get in and I don't need 25, I'll just grab it and I'll slide it down. I'll keep it right at 21 or just above it, right? And I'll park it there, right? Once I set it, I don't move it. I'll move it down as this moves down, but I'm not gonna like, oh, this is good. No, this is volatile. Well, no, never mind. I'm gonna move this up here. Well, that's how you get your face ripped off. Once you move your stop, just kind of leave it there, right? Especially don't move it if it's going to get you like this. Oh my God, that's going to go get me, stop me out. I'm going to lose $500, right? And you slide your stop out of the way. The next thing you know, this thing shoots up there. Now you're out that 450. Once you set a stop, don't move it away from going against you because it's there for a reason, to limit your losses, right? To limit your downside. The only way you move it is with the trade, Once you set it, as a 21, in this case, adjust. As this goes down, I'll adjust it. Now this trade's going up, but so that's what I'll do. I have 25 ticks, which is way up here. Ain't no way I'm letting that pull back to the 55, right? So I'll grab it and slide it down appropriately, right? So that's all there is to it. It's very simple, very easy, right? Again, it's paper trading. It's not hurting anything. Let's see, J-Dog, 79th day, paper trading, still learning. Good job, J-Dog. Appreciate your sticking to itnesses, your thing. What is the value of a tick? Double bounce ask. Well, that is a contractual amount. You can go to the CME group, which is the Chicago Mercantile Chicago Mercantile Exchange. And you'll see, you can look up all the contracts there. Or you can go, which is easier actually, is to go to your broker's website under their futures. They will, about everyone I've looked at has it laid out what they are. The tick value is non-negotiable. Robinhood has to pay the same amount as Webull, as TOS, as Fidelity, anybody. That's the only thing that can't be changed. If it's going to pay $12.50 per tick, you're going to get paid $12.50 per tick at Robinhood. You're going to get paid $12.50 per tick at Webull. You're going to get paid $12.50 at Fidelity. You're going to get paid $12.50 a tick at Vanguard, and so on and so forth. That's non-negotiable. That's contractual in the futures contract market. Now, what isn't contractual is what they charge you for margin, what they charge you for transaction fees, yada, yada, yada. Again, and they need the price to be competitive against the other guys, right? So there is a variation, sometimes a large variation between them. I use Webull. Are they the least expensive, the best value, best price on margins? No. I can name you 2 or 3 others that have lower priced margins. But, you know, the other ones that I've looked at, their fees may be higher, right? They're going to make up for it somehow. Or I just don't want to change brokers, and I'm just going to stay where I'm at and deal with it, right? Once your account gets so big, you don't care what the margin is, right? When you get a large account, you could care less whether it's $125 or $200, right? Catch my drift? So there's no reason for me to move per se. Now, can I go somewhere else if I'm doing a high volume trading? Yeah, when you're trading a lot, if you're doing hundreds of trades a day, right? Number one, you want speed of execution, so you want to try to get one of the better brokers as fast as executing trades. And you also want lower fees, right? So that, because that fees cut into your overall profit margin every day. So if you're a high volume trader, yes, now you have a different standard of what you want from a broker versus somebody who makes 1 or 2 or 5 trades or even 10 a day, right? The standard's different, right? It's not worth me ripping up the roots and going to move somewhere else if I'm only trading 3 times a day, right? Yeah, in the long run, I would save money, but is it worth me closing my account, waiting all that time to open up another account? You gotta learn on a new system, you know what I mean? So we tell you when you come to American Dream Trading, you know, you don't have to change the brokers we use. The 2 main ones that we use is Webull. I use Webull. Why? Because I didn't have a broker when I started day trading, and that's what Coach was demonstrating on his screen. Did Coach say, well, get Webull, it's the best? No, he never said that. He still don't say that, right? But it's what he was using, and everybody's using. It's easier to learn if you're watching the same thing on the screen as what you have, which is the main reason for doing it, right? And the second one would be TOS is another large group of our members use TOS. And then we have other ones that use whatever. E-Trade, they use whatever. Vanguard, Fidelity, Charles Schwab. What's the trader one? Anyway, there's hundreds of them. You use whatever you want. What's that?
Are you talking about Trade-Evade or?
Yeah, Trade-Evade. There's hundreds of them, right? You can use whatever. The important thing about having a broker already, if you have a broker right now and you're happy with them, you know, they got good customer service if and when you need it. Does your trades getting executed quickly? Are the fees and the margins reasonable? What's the point of having to go learn a new system, right? Unless you want to just expand your knowledge base, right? So we don't ask you or tell you you got to change brokers if you're with American. You have to be comfortable with what you're using and be a master of what you're using. That's the most important thing. Do I know how to get in and out of trades? What do I do if I get in trouble? How do I do this? There's 4 or 5 ways to get in and out of a trade. There's 4 or 5 ways to get out of a trade. I can assure you that. And that's true with any broker. What is the 3 best indicators, James Dean asked over on TikTok Live. What are the 3 best indicators you use to scalp since I don't have the TradingView Big Plan? Well, you don't have to have the TradingView Big Plan. You can get Webull for free. It has the same lines on it. This has a cloud indicator that just makes it visually appealing. You don't have to have none of this. You don't see this on Coach's screen at all, right? This cloud, it's not on Coach's. Coach has this turned off. What does this do? All this is doing is filling the gap between the 21 and the 55. If it's red, that's showing a downward trend. If it's green, it's showing an upward trend. That's all it's doing. And it changes whenever these lines cross over. You don't have to have this. As you can see, it does make it a little busy, but I can turn all that off. I mean, I can go right over here, real simple, and turn all that off, see? I don't have to have any of that. That took all my indicators off. I don't want that, but, you know, simple click will hide that. It's visually appealing. It's a quick glance thing more than anything. You don't have to have that. There's no real significance of the cloud, right? It does show you, though, visually at a quick glance, how far apart are these? You know, if these are expanding, that's better. Is it getting narrower over time? It's just it fills in those gaps, colors it in so that you can see it clearly, but you don't have to have that. I have Webull. I can't do this on Webull, right? It's just the lines. All you're going to see is, you know, the 9, the white line, the blue line, the red, the orange line, and that's it. You're not going to see all this other stuff. So you don't have to have this, right? We're using the 9 to 21 to 55, the 200 MA. These are EMAs, by the way, the 9 EMA, the 21 EMA, the 55 EMA. The 200 is a MA, which is moving average, right? These are exponential moving averages. 200 MA moving average, and VWAP, which is your volume weighted average price. That's all you need. And if you ask Coach, all you really need is VWAP. These other things are an assist. Do I like having all these on here? Yeah, I do. I use the 9 religiously. To me, all I need is the 9, probably the 21 in VWAP, right? To me. I don't need all this other stuff. I share my screen, so there are some things on here that there's a lot on here that I don't have on also. But if somebody wants to see it, I'll turn it on. It's all fully adjustable over here. So, yep. So, for scalping, you can use the 9 EMA. That's what I use when I'm in scalp mode. I use the 9 EMA to help me stay in a trade as it's going down or up. I use the 9 EMA for my entry decision because my main investment strategy of Coaches that I'm using is the break and hold above or below the 9 to enter a trade. So, and this is the Russell 2000 small cap. So if I just now showed up, let's just say we're over here right now, right? Let's just say I showed up to the party right now. All right. Missed it. All right. Well, it's pulling down. It's going to break. Oh, it's breaking below. All right. I might be able to enter this trade to the downside. Okay. Well, there's a break of the 9 on this candle. And this one's on the shoulder of the previous. So there's my hold candle. It's got energy to the downside. I'm going to enter it in. And now, once I got entered in based on my entry criteria, now I manage my trade as I go along. Well, my main concern is I use the 9 to break and hold above the 9. If it hasn't, I stay in the trade. Until it does that, I am going to stay in this trade, said Mark laughingly out of the side of his mouth. Because Mark's scalping tendencies tend to take over when he's like, oh, look at all that profit. I got to take that, right? Lock it in. So that's one of the things I am working on, staying in the trade like I should. Do I trust my indicators, right? And I am working on that. That is one of my deficiencies, among others, that I'm working on, right? We all have things we need to work on to improve. So I enter with the break and hold of 9. So there's the break. There's a confirmation candle with strong energy to the downside. Again, we're looking at this after the fact. I would enter it here. Now I manage my trade. I'm in the trade. Nothing else matters, all right? I already know where my indicators and all that are, right? So I know they're all my rear view mirror. I can't drive forward looking backwards now, right? I got to look forward to see where I'm going, right? You can't plow a straight line looking backwards. If you know, you know where that came from. You can't plow a line looking backwards, all right? If you know where that comes from, you could type that into the chat. So how I'm into trade, everything's in my rear view mirror. To get to where I want to go, I got to look forward, right? So now I'm involved in the trade. So now I'm going to trade. I'm using my criteria of does it break and hold above the 9 because I'm on the downside. Nope, no time. Technically, I should ride this clear back up here. There's my break and hold. That would really be my exit, right? However, I don't go quite that far when there's that big of a gap. See how big that gap is? That's a lot of money. Plus, I already knew this trend line down here, which is the bottom of the channel, that I'm more than likely when it gets down here, I've already predetermined that if this doesn't break and hold below this trend line, the bottom of this channel line, that I would be taking my profits. Now, I will sit here for a minute and see what's going to happen because it may very well break through. And when it breaks through these channel lines, a lot of times these things will take off, right? So I'm just not arbitrarily jumping out. I'm getting better at holding and seeing what's going to happen. Let it play out, then decide when to get out, take your profits. So, good. It is EMA, not SMA we use. You can use whatever one you want, but we use EMA. Okay, exponential moving average. They each have their advantages, and you could argue for either one. We use the EMA for our reasons. Okay. All right. Good questions, James. Thank you. You guys' questions are what makes the shows better. We got any of our paid members with questions? We're now in power hour. It's 20 after. You should not be involved in any trades unless you're an experienced trader at this time, because we are in power hour. Especially Coach teaches us through his rules that if you're not an experienced trader, you should not trade in the first 5 to 10 to 15 minutes, if not the whole half hour of the opening of the trading. Nor should you be in trading during power hour, and especially the last part of power hour. Things can get very hectic. It could shoot way up and way down in a matter of minutes and destroy your account.
Some of us learned that the hard way this morning.
Did you? You jumped in with both feet at the open, huh?
Yep, sure did. I was up. I started with a green 450 from yesterday. Jumped in right, at the bell, lost it all, and it became negative 250. But then after things settled down and things really started moving, like the Russell and the Qs, got it all back, and now I'm up 1,200. So.
All right, good job. All right, you revenge trade and won.
Yep, but his rules are there for a reason, and
right.
You think you can get in the morning with it's just too volatile.
Right. Well, because why? Because we see it shoot way up or we see it shoot way down. Man, look at all that money I could have made, right? It's enticing, right? It's the siren song. Come to me, Matt. Come to me. I will give you wealth beyond your imagination. Come to me.
We were waiting for 10 o'clock for the shift change, and after that, things settled down and really started moving the correct way, and then that's when I got everything back.
Is that not what Coach tells us, screams from the mountaintop every day?
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. So, it's hard to sit on your hands when you see the potential, if you're good enough, to get in and out of a trade, right? Well, if you're not experienced, you're not good enough to do that, right? And is it really worth wrecking your account in the first 15 minutes or first half hour? You have 8-10 hours a day. Futures, you have 23 hours. Yeah. We could trade 23 hours a day in futures. Why do you want to wreck it in the first half hour of the day or the last half hour of the New York session? It's crazy. You got all that time in between to make tons of money, right? But we're human, right? We don't always claim to be the brightest bulb in the pack, right?
I'm admitting this so everyone else can hear it, that his rules are there for a reason, and that's why.
Wow. Does he have rules? Are you saying he's got rules?
Yeah, Mark, what are those rules?
I don't know. Did Coach have rules?
I'm pretty sure he does.
Wow, imagine that. Well, if somebody knew how to find Coach's rules, he could probably play them. Really? Oh, let's let Coach tell you about it. Here you go.
Great news.
Oh, that's the wrong button. Here we go.
Some of the rules. Okay, perfect question. You're asking the right questions. I like it already. I'm new here. What are the rules? That's what I'm talking about. So again, right, some of the most basic rules so I can help you guys. Think about this. Stop losses on each and every trade. What does that do? Keeps you from losing your accounts, right? Not hard. Paper trade only when you're a new trader. It makes sure you're not blowing up your accounts. You're not obviously ready for this, am I right? Think about it. Every rule I have is not make money, it's keep your money. Don't trade in the first 3 minutes or the last 8 minutes of the day. It's the hardest time of the day. I've been doing this 33 years. It's very hard. I get chopped up all the time when I'm like, ooh, it looks good. Oh, it looks good. Oh, I'm going to do it again. Oh, stop. I'm doing it to protect you, right? If you're a new trader, don't trade in the first 30 minutes because it is the most volatile, right? Until we get the shift change when volume comes in again at 10 o'clock. Because why? The very beginning is like this. Yo, 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 yo. Typically, after the first 30 minutes, it will try to decide which way do I want to go today. I'm avoiding you getting wrecked, right? Last hour of the day is power hour, high volume, hedge fund managers, making the things happen, trying to get markets to move the way that they want. I'm telling you to stay out of it. So if you're like, well, I keep getting burned up, why are you doing it? Right? Journal. It's for your own mental strength so that you can see what you are doing on a daily, consistent basis. That's all it is for. Did I trade it right or did I trade it wrong? What should I have done? What could I do better? That is what it's for, right? It's your homework every day. You guys can go back and review your trades and go over your journal and what should I have done right there and why did that not work out? It will help you, right? You're strengthening your brain and you're getting rid of your own stuff. Small position sizes. I say that because usually when you go in too large, your emotions take over, you're not trading robotically, you're not trading the trades, you'll end up blowing up your accounts, right? That's when we make a lot of mental mistakes, is all the difference was we're going in too big. Let the runners run and stop out the losers. Again, notice the stop part is the most important. Stop out the losers so you don't continue to lose money. If you find yourself in these bleed out sessions, oh, well, I hope. Oh, it's going to come back. Oh, we'll see. Oh, it's coming down to support. Oh, it broke that support. Maybe this next, oh, stop. Draw a line in the sand. Use the stop. And then when you guys go green, right, you're like, oh, I'm up 100. I'm taking that. That's my daily. That's what I told myself. That's what I told myself. If I can make 100, I'm going to take that. It could have turned into 2,000. Why are you taking 100? Let the runners run. I notice I never said take all the runners off the table. Never said that. I've never said that in my life. We use the shedding technique. We collect as it goes. We take off as it goes because that way we are guaranteeing locking in realized profits. Remember, nothing is realized until you actually click, right, the sell button. All these rules are in place, ladies and gentlemen. They're there to help you. If you can't do these very basic things we talk about, right, how are you going to advance? Stop saying, woe is me. Stop saying, I don't get it. Stop saying, I'm not a good trader. I guess I'm never going to get it. Yeah, because you can't follow my basic rules. They're there for a reason. Again, follow the freaking rules, right? And listen, I know when I get on you guys, you know, I don't get to sell anything and I don't get to make any money, and it's just, I don't care. I need you guys to understand so that you guys can get ahead in life. This is what we're doing this for, right? So when I'm in this mode, right, and again, like, oh, I'm not listening to any of this. You need to listen to all this. This is where the secret sauce, this is the golden nuggets, not the, coach, just call out that runner. That isn't going to do you any good, right? It doesn't matter. There's 8 million people in this room. We could call out stuff all day long. You could just hear us shouting stuff. That isn't going to help anybody. If you don't know what to do with it, what good does it matter if one is up or one is down? That means nothing to anybody if you don't know how to handle it. You might get lucky and catch a momentum, and you're like, oh, I'm a great trader, and you just keep getting out a million times. It's because it's been going in the same direction all damn day, right? Can you duplicate it? Can you recreate the process every day consistently? This is all about consistency, okay?
There you go. See? The coach does have rules. Very simple to follow. We do it every day without fail. Oh, wait. I fail every day to follow his rules, right? Because we're human, like he says, right? But they're there for a reason. They're there for our own good. He developed those over his 33 plus years of trading, learning himself the hard way. I know generally, probably 90% anytime I have a losing trade, it's because I broke one of the rules, right? They're there to help protect our account. So good. James Dean, you asked, what time central, I assume you mean central time, would it be after the market opens? Well, the market opens, the official time is on Central Time out of Chicago. That's where the Chicago Mercantile Exchange is that runs the futures markets. And the official time there, the market is closed at 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. Central. And then it reopens at 5 a.m. or p.m. 4 p.m. it closes Central and to 5 p.m. Central. Reopens at 5 p.m. Central. For those of you in the Eastern, like me, who can't do backwards math, the market closes, the futures market closes at 5, reopens at 6. And so it goes on 23 hours a day. It's just closed for that 1 hour, right? Till Friday night. Then it closes at 5 Friday, and it's done till it reopens again Sunday night at 6 p.m. For the, of course, New York session, Central Time would be 8:30 your time, right? So, There you go. Let's see. What else? Pinewood, you have your hand raised. One of our paid members.
Yeah, I didn't speak up earlier. I wasn't feeling well and had stuff going on with work.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, it's, obviously YouTube listened to and picked up, but I failed miserably this week in the challenge. Did great Monday. Monday, followed the rules, EWO. That's all I did. Lowered my contract numbers. Sitting here writing in my little journal. You say don't be negative. It's full of just negative. But one thing that you always say, put it in a sentence. I have to limit my trades.
Okay. So what is more specific? What does a SMART goal require? Specific, measurable, right?
And that's 10 trades is still a lot, but for me,
Okay.
for what I just looked at, what I've done the last, like I said, Monday was great. And then what was Tuesday the day that had the potential news about the Fed?
Yeah.
All that. So that's what got me out of it. I got excited. The whole dopamine and serotonin and all that.
Yep.
I forgot about the EWO. I was like, hey, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
But when you don't have an appropriate stop, appropriate stop wouldn't have mattered during that. But
Yeah.
still, when you click the button and you don't even have an appropriate stop, you don't even have a chance.
Yeah.
And So I just thought about that. I was like, oh, I have something specific, not just I'm impatient, because definitely I am. Everybody that spoke up earlier about the patience, I am the king, I am the captain, I am, I'm the spokesperson for being impatient. And clicking, I think it's Ross' favorite words, willy-nilly.
Yep.
So yeah, that's I just wrote it down. That's what I'm gonna work on for Monday.
Good.
And try to
Okay.
try to not be a statistic.
Good.
And, well, I have to limit my trade. And if I limit my trade, that forces one big thing. Forces having a reason to click to buy.
There you go.
Not the willy nilly. Hey, this looks good. Just looking at your screen, it's like on RTY, it's like, willy nilly is, hey, it's bounced off 55, why not go in? And it's the why not part. Let's see, let's hope, and that's what my trading strategy is, and it's gonna stop. So, I just wanted to.
Great. That's great. Now you have a plan, right? You've verbalized your plan. You've written your plan down. Now you got to execute the plan, right?
Yep.
With specific, measurable, attainable, right, goals. SMART goals, S-M-A-R-T. If you don't know what that is, look that up. Google it, SMART goals. Yeah, just like this. Would you really want to, if you've already seen 2 or 3 of these, do I want to jump in and even think about trading this after seeing this chop?
No, that's what gets all the way.
Yeah.
Here's where what I've learned through American Dream trading comes into play versus what I do. I've learned that in this play right now, either you go in a small position, you play the downside, small position, or you will wait till it gets all the way down to 248.50.
Yep.
All the way down to your big white line down at the bottom.
Yep.
Sure. But that's the disconnect,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I'm just showing up here today, again, we are at the end of the day, but let's just say this was during the day. Why would I even, if I've already see this is happening, unless I'm a master channel trader, this would get me excited, right? But we see this, that's chop. I don't want to deal with that. Well, then don't deal with it. Go find one that isn't, right? Can I go find one that isn't somewhere? I don't know. What's NQ doing? Let's go look at NQ. Of course, more volatile, but oh, look, it's kind of doing the same thing, right? Look at that. It's almost a mirror image, right? Well, heck, that ain't looking much better. It's, with your skills, you may be able to make that money, but let's just say we're looking for something not so crazy. Well, let's go look at ES. Oh, crap, that's even worse, right? Da-da-da-da-da. So, just because there's something, this is what you're seeing and this is what I'm used to trading, this ticker, doesn't mean I need to trade it during this. If I'm going through my list that I'm comfortable trading from and they all look like this, well, then what's probably the best thing? Call it a day, go home, right? It's one moment of your trading life. Call it a day. Why force a trade, which I'm the king of forcing trades, why force trades to try to make a couple dollars and end up wrecking your account, right? So, what if I wanted, let's just say it was during the day and I wanted to trade metals, okay? Right now we don't have the volume. Well, look at this. This area ain't so bad, right? It's a lot smoother, right? And right now we don't have volume this time of the day, but let's just say we were, right? This has a nice, gentle, something I might want to, what it does here, oh, that didn't look too good back there, but you know what I mean? So find something that is tradable. If there's nothing, they're all like that, because let's face it, we have days like that, right? We'll have hours like that where it'll get choppy, and we'll hear people like, I pulled back on me, I lost money, right? We seen Coach do it the other day, did we not? Earlier in the week, he decided to trade a bunch of chop like this kind of thing, right? And he was on, I don't know what it was on, NQ maybe, and he'd make money and lose money. He'd make money and lose money. But he decided to trade that chop, right, in real time. Now, the two things against him, it was choppy. He knows this, right? And he was doing it live, talking through the trade while he was doing it. And that's just, it's hard to stay laser focused, right? So, yeah, if it's going to be, it doesn't look good, yeah, nothing wrong with just calling it, right? If you went to go see if you turn a TV movie on and it sucks, are you going to continue to watch it? No, you're going to change the channel, find one you want to watch, right? If you've already seen this program before and I don't really want to watch it again, what are you going to do? You're going to change the channel. Well, let's do that with our trading also, right? So, how's that for a correlation there, huh? All right. If you haven't already, make sure you go to AmericanDreamTrading.com. Grab our free Discord. Once you register and confirm your account, you'll be able to interact with other members of American Dream Trading, where you can have instant access to some of our trading materials not available elsewhere on our site. You can ask questions, make out a help desk tickets, discuss trades, whatever. And it's all free. It always has been free, always will be free. So get that first, and then check out our promotional sales that we have going on some of our memberships over there. Doug is being so kind as right now as we speak. If you go over to our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading, he's putting clickable links that you can click right on. It'll take you directly to our website. It's AmericanDreamTrading.com is the website. You'll see that the links say WAP on it. They are our third-party credit card processor. We don't see your information. Just like when you go to Walmart and you hand them your card, they scan it into a machine. That's handled not by Walmart. It's handled by whoever, right? A third party, and they process all that for them, right? So that's what you'll see. So anyway, there you go. Oh, let me scroll up here on the YouTubes real quick and see if I know our moderators are in there answering questions. Let me scroll back up just to see here real quick. Boy, you guys are really active over there on the YouTube today. Look at all them comments. Good job. Man, missed all that. That's why we have moderators. Not one person can do all this. It worked for me. Just figured to mention it. Let's see. They was having trouble with the links earlier. Make sure them links work, Doug, this time. I guess apparently one time today it didn't. What other comment?
Specifically.
Well, somebody said the only links were working earlier today, not yours right now. Were the futures ones. Test it. Somebody test Doug's link he posted, just to make sure they work. Make sure it's not on the other end.
Pulled this right out of the promo, so it might be a long thing.
Okay. And it may be all right. It might have been some other thing there earlier. Let's see.
Futures works.
Okay.
See what we got.
The Corbin. The Corbin, you haven't been here for a while. Where you been? Good to see you back. Hey, Mark, could you hold my hand going into Power Hour with M2K Main? No, I won't hold your hand, but we can look at M2K.
Okay.
Yeah, we can smack your hand off the mouse. How's that? M2K, Oh, we'll put that in there. We'll actually use that one. It's the micro version. M2K is the E-mini, or the micro mini of the Russell 2000 futures contract. All right, here's my question to you. Are you a good channel scalper? Are you a good channel trader? We just discussed this. Do you want to trade this? Do you want to get involved with your account in this type of trade at any time during the day? Can you make a lot of money? Yeah, if you're a good channel trader, you get a boatload of money. You don't get much easier than that. But do you really want to do that type of trading? That's something you have to answer. And number two, are you an experienced trader? If you're not, are you supposed to be trading in this part of the day? And we just learned no is the answer probably to both those questions. Right? There you go. There, I helped you right out. All right, ticks, so we answered that. Mark my last name, Chevron, gains entry to, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good news for them. Thank you for that. He's talking about Chevron, CVX. It's not an endorsement to buy. We don't do that here. He's just posting information. All right. What else? I'm just scanning here through it. Can I help you find a key level for LLY? I want to try to swing trade. Thank you for the best for Jeremiah Della. Well, that's a stock. That's Lilly, LLY, Eli Lilly, right? Pharmaceutical company. Huge, huge corporation. We can take a quick peek. A chart's a chart's a chart, right?
Mark,
What?
That's what I said.
you get done with that one. Take a look at Bull. I'm sick.
Are you? Why? Did you get out of it?
I got out of Bull, and guess what a Bull is at right now?
Well, let me see. We'll look together. That's Weeble Corporation, by the way. Holy moly. When did you get out?
Oh my God.
Weren't you the one that said, didn't we talk about this earlier?
Yeah.
Where did we lay out where the channels were at? I know it didn't break the next channel till 17.
I put my stop at VWAP and it barely tapped me out.
And you weren't paying attention and managing your trade until just now?
And I looked at it and I said, oh my God. I thought it was about to drop because I was like, man, they got it 15, it's heading down. I'm protected and not lose money, you know.
I like hopium, don't it?
It wasn't opium.
No, we talked about this going up today because for specific reasons, and it did exactly what he said it was going to do. And we even identified the channels for the next breakout that if it did that, it would even go up more maybe. And it did exactly what the person talking right now said it would do, and he didn't manage his trade. That was it, right? You didn't know you got stopped out. You weren't managing it. You can't just set it and forget it sometimes, right? You do have to take a peek once in a while. Doesn't mean you have to sit there and stare at it all day, but you do have to manage your trades, right? Lesson learned.
Yeah.
Would that not be a good journal entry? How much money did that cost you? How much money did that cost you?
Well, you know, I didn't lose any, but I lost a lot.
Well, potential. I'm talking about profit.
Yeah, probably about $2 a share.
Yeah, imagine that. Well, I like to say I feel sorry for you, but you know, we are our own worst enemy, right? We get into our own way. All right, so now we're going to take a looky-see here at Eli Lilly. Now, you do understand, Harry Ma, that I am not a licensed financial advisor, neither is anybody else here at AmericanDreamTrading.com, and as such, we cannot offer financial investment or tax advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Never mimic or mirror anything that you see on my screen that I do or say. Okay, so here's a 4-hour chart of Lilly. All right, it's currently running around the mid 775s, right? A key level. You want to swing trade. Well, what is the trend right now? Up, down, flat, sideways, what? Looking at a 4-hour chart here on my screen, you tell me what you see. Up, down, sideways, which is it? What is this is on a 4-hour chart. What do you see? Tell me. I wait your answer. This is a chart to chart to chart. Well, you can swing trade futures also, but we're talking about an individual stock, but it's the same principle, is it not? Now, I will have you know I'm no expert swing trader. I know enough to do it. I've done a couple of them, right? All right, Della, where are you at? Let me scroll back down. You probably already answered my question. I just scroll down to the bottom. Downtrend, okay. So, do you know how to use Coach's 2-minute EWO strategy? Are you familiar with it? Have you explored it? Right? If you're a paid member, you would be trained in it, right? Personally. So we would look at the trend is what? Your trend is your friend, is a saying, right? The trend is in a downward, general downward right now. Has been for a long time. It did spike here. Why did it spike? Well, here's another thing. All right. When are their next earnings? What are their average? What average happens with Eli Lilly do their earnings? Do they tend to go up or down? What happens when they have good earnings? Does it go up or does it go down? When they have bad earnings, how does it react? Does it go up or down, right? And it ain't always the answer you think it is. Well, they had bad earnings, of course it went down. Well, it's not necessarily true any more than having good earnings guarantee it's going up because they can give, it's the outlook that the companies get, all right? What do I see coming up? Well, there's a little news blurb here. Let's see what to pop this little thing here and see. Number one, I got to be familiar with the company. I got to know what's going on. Is there any good news, bad news, or anything going on? When are the next earnings, right? Do I want to hold through up to and before the earnings come out, right? Here's your next earnings occur on Thursday, August 7th. That's a few weeks away, right? I could swing trade that till then. I may want to really keep a close eye as it approaches earnings, right? And then here's they pay out a dividend here, right? On August 15th is their dividend. You know, every time they pay out a dividend, the price of the stock automatically drops by the price of the dividend. So you know, I will guarantee you that the minute that this dividend is declared and takes effect officially, the price of Eli Lilly will drop $1.50. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to stay there. It can still go up $20 a share, but it's automatically reflected in that, right? It's just that's how it works, right? So my trend is down. Do I want to go against the trend on my trade? Do I want to go or against it? Well, one of the things I'm going to do as a swing trader, I am going to implement Coach's 2-minute EWO trading strategy. Why? Because it works on any type of investment vehicle. It works on any type of time frame. Now, what I would tell you, would I get in this trade right now? Would I swing trade this? Now, me personally, the way that I have swing trade in the limited times I've done it, I use the EWO for my entry into a long-term buy and hold type trade. So I am going to enter in on EWO. Now you can use we'll look at the 1-hour chart. Which one do you tend to use more, Ralph, the 1 or the 4, if you're really going long-term? You personally. Ralph?
So I use the 4 more. I mean, I use the 1 more, but if I'm going really long, I use the 4.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess really long, 3 or 4 weeks. 3 weeks is not really that long for earnings. So we'll go, well, anyway, what I was getting at here is I would enter on the EWO when it tells me to, which means when the next bar is larger than the first. So my entry period would have been back here on, could have been yesterday, as a matter of fact, right? Or Wednesday. So it's really not that late, but I've already had some opportunities to miss out on gains there, right? So let's go to the 1 hour, which is what it should have done to start with, because that's what I used was the 1 hour. But I was not going super long term either, right? I was holding for days, not weeks or months or years. So if I'm going to use the 1 hour chart, as you can see, if I would enter today and it's on the red EW, I've already missed my golden opportunity, right? I would have entered here, which would have meant it was up here. Look at all the money I would have made by using the 2-minute EWO strategy, right? Entry is key, right? I probably would have waited for the 200 here. So as you can see, it is trying to trend to the upside for whatever reason. It's been slowly edging up. Let me slide this back down, all right? Expand this out. And these are the same things you could do for futures, right? Same rules apply. There's not a separate set of rules for futures as there is for trading stocks. These investment strategies work with all of them. As you can see now on a 1 hour chart, it's on an upswing, right? The trend is still which way? Down, right? You can see this line's going, that's the bottom, that's the center. So do I want to enter a trade against the trend? That's something you would have to decide, right? I would use the EWO. If this goes green, you can see the last one that went green that went against the trend, which is still down, was kind of short-lived, right? You really wouldn't have made much money. So I might want to wait and see for a new EWO trend to start before I would enter. So I would, if you're going to go 1 hour chart, well, let's wait. We've already missed this EWO. And if you jump in now, you're just going to have to wing it and treat it as a scalp and manage it however often you want to look at it, right? So I can't tell you when to get in or out, but if it was me, I would wait for the next EWO to start and then enter there, right? This one may come up here and try to change over and go right back into a red one, and that would be my entry, right? Using Coach's 2-minute EWO strategy, right? So, and this is a high-priced stock, especially if you're buying options on it. You know, there's a lot of things go on involved in that. So, anyway, that's how I would evaluate the trade. Again, I know I didn't give you an answer. You wanted a quick, go short, go long. Well, I can't do that. I can't tell you. I can just tell you what I use to evaluate. You have to make those decisions on your own. All right? So there it is on a 2-minute chart. See, on a short-term 2-minute chart, the trend is up, right? Where the overall trend is down over a long period of time. So, good. We're now in power hour here. We're getting into the last few minutes. So let's go see if RTY changed any. Did it change anything? There we go. Nope. Look at that. It's still hanging at that level there, isn't it? Look at that chop. That's great channel trading, though. If you're a good channel trader, there's a big opportunity there to make money, right? I think pretty well defined, just without drawing a bunch of lines on there, right? There's the upper half of the channel. There's the channel right down the center, all that. There's the upper half of the trade. There's the bottom half. Pretty cool, huh? All right. Anyway, we are live here 3 times a day. Coach is live from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time daily, Monday through Friday. I'm live here with the Futures Education and Training Program each and every day, Monday through Friday, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we have the Aftermarket Show, which can be found over on our YouTube channel with our moderator and host, Dawn. That starts at 5 p.m. Eastern Time daily, Monday through Friday. Upon conclusion of this broadcast and all of our live broadcasts, you will be able to find them for immediate replay over on our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading. Our website, of course, is AmericanDreamTrading.com, where you can go get our free, always has been free, always will be free, Discord, where upon your registration on that Discord, you'll be able to interact with other members of American Dream Trading for absolutely free. Now, what you can see and do in there is limited, right? Paid membership has its privileges. I don't know how many channels there is. There's probably, what, maybe 10? Is there that many? I don't know without looking. Let me see. Oh, it's right here in front of me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 channels that you would have access to, right? Whereas there's over, well, I know there's at least 100 channels. Each membership level has their own dedicated channels, and membership has its privilege. If you're a diamond member, you have access to all of them. If you're a free member, you only have access to those dozen that are there. So as you go up in membership levels, you know, if I buy a gold level, I have not only the gold, but I have the regular VIP and also, you know, the premium membership levels. So you have access to everything below you. Limited to your upside. Unless you're a diamond, there is no upside to our Diamond membership, which is now back to its original $20K value cost. And you can get that over at American Dream Trading. It includes all of our memberships. It's a $50,000 value today. When the Platinum comes out, that's going to be a $12,000 a year product. So that's also absolutely included for free in that Diamond membership also. So as you can see, it'll go from a $50,000 to a $60,000 plus value whenever overnight once that's released. Coach is working on it as we speak. Yes, sir.
Our Diamond membership is also now available in monthly for $850.
That is correct. Thank you for that. I fail to mention that probably every day. You can get it all for $850 a month if that's how you like it to do that, right? Obviously, the better value is lock it in at $20,000 and be done with it. Never ever pay again, right? So, all right. So I'm glad you guys could all be here. Great questions today. That's what we're here for. Your questions make this show more interesting. And our goal is to help educate you here. We are an education and training program. Now, these questions you heard today, can you imagine what happens in real time through a paid membership? It's unimaginable. It's mind-blowing what we have to offer here as far as training and education. If you have the Diamond or the VIP Gold memberships, you get training up to 12 hours a day, starting at 4 a.m. Eastern through 4 p.m. And you also will have access to our Saturday trainings also. And those are all recorded for you to watch later. Emma Taratana raised hand. What's up? What's your question? Comment.
Quick question about the scalping you're doing. You're using the 1 minute. You were showing us on the 2 minute, but when you're scalping with the break and hold over the 9, you mean the 1 minute chart?
Yes. Okay. I say yes to both questions because I have lately yes, you should scalp off the 1 minute. You can scalp off any time. I have recently, and by accident, and because other members pointed out, hey, Mark, you're scalping, but you're on a 2 minute chart. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. Look how well I'm doing. I've actually staying on a 2 minute chart and scalping here lately.
With the break and hold?
Yep, even with that same criteria, but I'm using the 2 minute chart.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yes. Why am I doing that? Because I overtrade, right? I can get in and out 10,000 times a day if I want to. And I found out because I could, I was, right? Common theme, right? You can jump in and out endlessly because you have instant cash settlement. And what does Coach teach us? Let your runners run and cut your losses, right? Cut your losers. Well, I would get, oh yeah, it's up and down. Oh, that's a lot of money. I'm going to lock that in, and then I'll jump back in. And I kept doing it, in and out, in and out, in and out. Well, you know what? If I'd stayed in this trade, I would have made, from up here to there, I would have made twice the amount of money. And I proved that mathematically a few weeks ago to everybody during our live training that we have for our paid members. Showed mathematically I would have made twice the amount of money. One of them was like 40% more money, right? So let your runners run. But why is that? How's that possible? If I jump in and jump right back in, if I jump out, jump right back in, wouldn't you make the same? Well, yeah, technically, but if you're going to do it right, you need to reevaluate every trade before you enter, correct? So when I jump out, the time I think, oh, look at me, I'm the world's greatest trader. Look at all that money I locked in profit, right? There's nothing wrong with taking profit, but every time I jump in, now I got to look at this chart again, right? Do I still want to get in? Now I've exposed my trading account again to risk, right? Had I just made one click and up at the top and made one click at the bottom and got out, then you go count your money, right? Well, when you're doing this scalping in and out, and there's nothing wrong with that, doing it. That's how I built my account. But you're much better. It's less stressful. I only have to make one decision. Okay, enter here. Now all I have to do is ask myself the same question over and over again. Well, two questions. Where's my next level that I have to worry about, historical level? My lines on my chart that I drew. And has it broken held above the 9 yet? And the answer is no to that. I keep writing it down. Stay in the trade to there. And I find by going a longer time frame that I stay in the trade longer. I'm less reactive to the 1 minute, right? Some people trade on a 3 minute, 5 minute, whatever, right? It's what works. So I've been finding, and you're as a paid member, you know what I make in here, right? I don't share that any longer publicly, but I do okay, right? So this has helped me quite a bit. This has been a game changer to help me stay in the trades longer.
So do you think at the open, you'd probably stick more when it's more volatile with the 1 minute?
Yes.
And then maybe midday go to the 2?
Yes.
Or,
Yeah. Yes. But I'm quite honest with you. I made some trades this morning and I was in the 2 minute chart. I just stay there anymore, right? So
I prefer it myself.
yeah, it slows it down a little bit, right? Now, if I really want to hone in, lock in, yeah, I'm going to use the 1 minute, right? If I'm looking for specific places to end. Scalpers should use 1 minute or less, right? But that's no hard, fast rule. Whatever works for you. Me going to 2 minute, help me stay in the trade, make more money that way, well then, right, I'm going to continue to do that. So.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Hey, just so you all know, the Boomer once again made the little kiddies cry. They didn't bring their A game, and it's 4 o'clock. Let me take my screenshot of that. Dave, the old Boomer, made them all cry again today. Kicked the old Rogue right in the teeth. How do you like that, Rogue? We tried to warn you yesterday and this morning. You can't come in halfway. You're either all in or you're not. Huh?
You best beat him again.
Yes. Well, Bucko wasn't here. Bucko didn't even show up today. He's licking his wounds. He got smacked
Wait,
yesterday.
Mark, you better retake that picture because Rogue just took it.
It doesn't matter because I already took it. I did it at 4 o'clock. Time's already up. I do it at 4 o'clock when the show is over. So thanks for playing. Try again. I already got it. So anyway, Dave, the Boomer, wins again. You were too late. Well, thanks for playing anyway.
Good job.
Good. That helps our logarithm when you guys do that stuff. So, yes, Dave is the official winner. Again. Hey, thank you all for being here. We are live 3 times a day. Coach is live from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. I'm live here with the Futures Education Trading Program from 2 to 4 p.m. daily. And we have the Aftermarket Show, which starts at 5 p.m. today and every day Eastern Time, which you can find over on our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading. You can actually join with a live microphone and a camera turned on if you like to join the panel that way. If not, you can do like you do here and type in your comments and questions, and they'll be more than happy to hit it. I hope you all had a great weekend. I hope you're all going into weekend green. If you're not, hopefully you were able to evaluate and be able to come in Monday with a fresh game plan to try to engineer out those things that went wrong for you this week. And you're going to be full of vim and vigor come Monday morning, ready to start a new day, right? Don't let one day define you, and any more than you let one trade define you. So have a great week. Make sure anybody that you come in contact with the rest of today and the weekend, that you would be a positive beacon as you speak with other people. You never know what's hiding behind that other person's smile. You may be the only positive thing in their life right now. So make sure you're that positive person. We are, again, live here every week, Monday through Friday. 9 to 11, 2 to 4, and 5 p.m. We're glad that you could be here. And I will see you same time, same bat channel on Monday. See ya.